Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Saturday, and it is build day. What build day is it today? 285. No, it's not 285. It must be 286. 286. And it is build day 286 here today on the construction schedule at Feliz. Yes, build day 286. And this morning we have our electrician. Remember, our electrician wasn't here yesterday, but he is here today. And one of the things they're going to do this morning is they're going to hook up the power to our fan so we can check our fan out. And that brings a topic that we need to talk about, hooking up electrical. Whether you hook up electrical in electrical outlet boxes or you cut wires and you do direct connection. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. But again, we have the crew here this morning doing finishing, cleanup, touch-up, soffit work on the back. Hopefully we can complete our soffit today. Fingers crossed. Things like stairway, continuing with stairway. And yesterday I saw they're starting to clean up this area out here on the front porch. Let me show you real quick before we get the day started. But you can see they're cleaning up this area. They are trimming this so we have a perfect circle on our steps going up to the patio on the front of the house. So there are a lot of things that are going to be done today. I don't know that our kitchen crew is coming back today to complete the repairs because of some of the issues they had yesterday at their warehouse up in, I believe it's in Cavite. But I'm sure they will come back and we'll get that closed out as well. Well, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. So something you might want to think about as part of your strategy, your advanced thinking about things you might not want to use right now, but you might want to think about as an option later on, is to go ahead and do the electrical connection if you ever want to put a garbage disposal. Although we're not going to put a garbage disposal in right now. If we wanted to, and we wanted to have the option to do it later on, and if you don't have the electricity available, then it's not impossible, but it means there's a lot more stuff that you have to do, and a lot of it's destructive, and then you have to do corrective, which is basically cutting into your wall. And if you have a backsplash or anything like that, then you got to cut all that up, and it becomes a nightmare. So what we're doing here at Feliz is underneath the sink, we have an electric outlet that is going to be installed down there. We'll put the service outlet, and it will be already pre-plumbed for some electrical inside it. It'll be roughed in for the electrical. As a matter of fact, it won't be just roughed in, it will be completed. Right? And all we have to do is plug in. And then for us to install a garbage disposal, it's just install the fixture and plug it in. It will be very easy. It's a matter of like an hour's worth of work to do that. Right now, it's not in the immediate future to install a garbage disposal, but at least we have the option. Something to think about when you are planning your kitchen design and build. Tip of the day when it comes to anything that has to do with electrical or sharp edges. Sometimes shortcuts are done, and it's not just here in the Philippines, it's done around the world. Keep an eye on the installers when you're doing anything that has to do with electrical wiring. Sometimes when they will not put anything that protects your electrical wire or anything from sharp edges. Case in point right here. You see we installed the vent system, the exhaust system for the range hood here. And they cut a hole in this aluminum or stainless steel. Stainless steel is very sharp even when you do some filing on it to get away some of those burrs on there, it can still be very sharp and it can cause damage. And we are running electrical wire. We have an electrical wire that's for our connection that's going to go to provide the power for the fan itself. So when they cut this hole in the side of the stainless steel for both the vent and for the electrical, this leaves a rough edge right here, which can, over time, it can cut from vibration or just pressure on there. It can cut into your electrical wire. That is one of the major causes of house fires around the world, is when you do not protect your electrical wire from sharp edges, and that can cause shorts. So what we're doing here is we're taking the same material. You see the plastic tubing that is used here, the flex tubing that's used to protect electrical wiring, and what you do is you cut a split down the center, and when you cut the split down the center, then you can use it to go around this area right here. So when anything like your vent or your electrical wire goes through there, it hits the plastic and it does not get cut by your stainless steel cutout up there. Very, very important. So you need to keep your eye on things like that when electrical is being installed. Another tip of the day, when you are installing your pin lights, if you allow the contractor or your electrician to do that, they're going to put it where they think you want it. You have to take a lot of things, there's a lot of dynamics that's involved with installing pin lights for things like aesthetics, what you want to highlight and things like that. So when I first started looking at where we want to put these 4 pin lights inside the kitchen that are only for the kitchen. Remember, we're doing the white light, the cold light, the energizing light for kitchen. And when I started to decide where to do that, the first thing I thought was we were going to do things and define them based on cabinetry space and walls. This cabinet space and that wall that separates the dining room from the kitchen. But after I looked at that, and that's probably where the installer would have probably done it too. But after I did that, I started saying, oh, well, there's an unbalance. Because the reason we had to put this light here, it has to line up with the light in front of the ref. This is direct in this passageway. That's really important. Passageways, paths that you go through, you want to center, or I want to center. You can put it wherever you want to. But for me, I want to open up an entire passageway, which would be centered right here. So that's what we're doing here. Same thing on the other side of the island. I wanted to make sure that we have center in between the ref right here and the island over here. So that's where we're doing that one. Those are our 2 defining points where we want to do. So we know where to center them, we just don't know where we want to put the spacing on the lights. So I started thinking, and at first I was thinking like probably a contractor would think, this wall and that wall, which are your borders of your room, and then equally spaced, just like they did here. Everything is equally spaced from the wall, from that wall over there. But sometimes that doesn't work out because we have all these lights over here, and if we were to move this one equally spaced from that wall to where the light is, that would have put this light way over here. And I see where I'm standing right here, over in this section right here. One of the things you want to do, you want to highlight your appliances. Main reason that we put it on this section right here, in this spot, not only is to define this through path right here, but also be directly centered on these 2 cabinets and the center of the refrigerator. So when you open up the refrigerator, when you go to the refrigerator, you see it's going to highlight the appliance. So then made me think, oh, well, we don't want to move the light over to the side here because we're going to have this big opening here with no lights. There would have been a big area here with no lights and a congested area over there based upon the distance from that wall and the light. So I decided, since we're highlighting that appliance, why not highlight this appliance and the stove down here, the oven. So what we did was we said, let's center on this one right here. So it is centered this way for the through path and centered on this one. So the rest of it's a no-brainer, because you have to go equal distance between lights. Next thing we had to do was measure the distance from the center of this pin light hole to that pin light hole, which is centered on that pin light hole on that plane. And it was 198 centimeters, so half of 198 is 99. So that would mark the center point for this right here. Then, to make sure that it's correctly perfect lined up, we ran a line level from here to the one on the other end, and the center point of that gave us our center point for our middle light. So now all the lights should be lined up. The center one will be focusing over the sink. So we not only have under counter lighting for here, we have direct over the center of this area, and also for cooking in this area, but we also have the lights here inside the island ventilation. So I think we nailed 100% where all the lights would look the best and give the most distribution of light for you to function inside the kitchen. Again, it is a personal preference. You can put them anywhere that you want to, but this is, I think for our kitchen, I think this is the best solution. So as you can see, we're getting into the final stages of getting our cabinets done inside the laundry room. The doors will probably be going on very soon, but when they get to start cleaning up the trim like they're doing, the cornice or the crown inside there, and then they'll clean up the walls, they'll clean up the ceiling, and then the final step is putting the door hardware and the doors on. So we're getting close to closing out the laundry room. I wish I could tell you what this is for, but honestly, I don't know, so I'm going to ask my foreman here. What is this for?
It's
For
security guard project is...
Oh, this is not a Villa Feliz project. Oh, okay. This is for an external project. Anyway, it is about 10 minutes after 1. The crew are supposed to be back at work right now. They're slowly getting back into their work rhythm here. But I want to take the opportunity right now at lunchtime to do a few shout-outs. And something I want to mention about the shout-outs, I often, well, not often, but occasionally, I miss a shout-out too. There are so many responses. This channel has been overwhelming with the response of viewers and subscribers, and on the average we receive 100 plus comments a day, and I try to go through all the comments as much as I possibly can, but sometimes the workday and the video editing and regular life is very makes my day very full, but I do try to read each and every one of the comments in there, and occasionally I do miss a shout out. And of course, I apologize for those that I do miss. And I receive comments from several of the people through private messages or emails, or even on the comments section about, oh, you missed my birthday, or you missed my son's birthday, or you missed my husband or wife's birthday. So anyway, I apologize, and I try to do my best. And if I get a message from you, I also try to do a belated birthday or anniversary wish as well. But just understand, sometimes it's quite taxing. But I do my best. Anyway, today we have some shout-outs, and I'm going to try to get some of these early in the day. It is the first shout-out of the day, and it's the first anniversary shout-out for a couple, and the couple is Shane and Rochelle. And Shane resides in, let's see, Surrey, I believe it's Surrey, British Columbia in Canada, and his Asawa for 1 year is Rochelle. She lives in Tarmac, which is way up north and up here off of the island of Luzon. So anyway, I want to wish a happy first anniversary to the two of you. Our second shout out for the day is a belated birthday shout out, and it's a belated birthday shout out to DT's wife Creasy, who celebrated her 43rd birthday on January 18th, and the couple reside in Germany. So anyway, happy birthday, Creasy. And our third birthday shout out for today is, and it's belated for January 19th, and it is for Jennifer's fiance, and Jennifer's fiance name is Victor, aka Bacon. I'm sure there's a story behind that. Anyway, the couple are now living and residing in South Korea, and they are going to be coming back to the Philippines in a couple of years and building their dream house as well. So anyway, happy birthday, Bacon. Also belated on January 19th was Jeff Gallo's son, and his son's name is Joshua Klima Gallo, and he just turned 16. And Jeff's wife, Emerita Kalima, works in Helsinki, Finland as an OFW. Thank you for your overseas service to your family back here in the Philippines. And anyway, the family are from, let's see, Maidolang, Eastern Samar. I hope I got that right. Well, anyway, happy belated birthday, Joshua. And also for today, January 20th, it is Nikolai Diaz's daughter, and her name is Marita Nicole Diaz, and she is turning 3 years old today. So anyway, happy birthday, Marita. Okay, the moment of truth. Lights on. Yes. Okay. And you notice this one right here, we won't mount this until after all this is finished, so we're going to leave it hanging loose inside there. But the alignment looks great. The location looks great. Great job. So sometimes unique situations require unique solutions, and today is no different. Today we are going to try to put our own entertainment electrical service outlet in that gives us a little bit of space behind the television. We have some appliances that are needed to be hooked up behind the TV, and what we're going to try to do is try to get a very, what do they call it? It's the platform or the profile, a very slim profile hanging bracket for our TV so it doesn't stick out too far away from the wall. Therein lies a problem sometimes. When you do that and you have any type of plug that needs going behind it, it's going to push up against the back of the TV. So you think to yourself, what am I going to do? Well, normally if I were in the US, I would just run down to Lowe's, I would run down to Home Depot, or I would just get on Amazon.com and I would order myself a recessed electrical outlet that's made for entertainment centers that have very short profile or small profile backs. And that's very easy to get, and they have it available. But try to do something like that in the Philippines, and I won't say it's impossible, but it is certainly a challenge. So, what are we going to do today? This is what we're going to do today. We are going to make our own. We are going to modify. We are going to think outside of the box, and we are going to create our own recessed box using a standard electrical outlet. So I don't know if you remember this hole from a long time ago, which was supposed to be for our power supply for our electric motorized windows way up there. Well, when the contractor received the information from the vendor, the information they gave us was incorrect information. The module is this module right here. The size they originally told us was that size right there. So now we have a big hole in the wall. But thank goodness that mistake. We're going to turn lemons into lemonade. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this hole even a little bigger, basically a little higher, and what we're going to do, and a little deeper, and we're going to recess this so that this connector right here will plug into the wall, and it will recess most of the way so that the back of this won't be sticking out and hitting and striking the back of the television. On top of that, what we are going to do, and this happens to do with that same electrical outlet, that electrical outlet is going to be switched. And you're going to say to yourself, James, why would I want to do a switched outlet behind my television? Well, I am going to tell you right now. You know this DC power supply, this is the DC power supply that provides power to this transmitter that provides the signal to the receiver inside our motorized windows. Now, with any DC power supply, you're going to find, you ask anybody who's had these, whether they're for security cameras around your house, anything that has a DC power supply, DC power supplies tend to fail over time when you keep them plugged in for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, I'm thinking to myself, I have a unique type of a Windows situation here, and of course, if the power supply did fail, who knows if it failed in 2 years from now or 3 years from now, is that company still going to be in business? Am I going to be able to get a specific part again without having spares sitting around the house? What am I going to do? Well, of course, you can go to, in the U.S., again, I have to use this as an example. In the U.S., I go on Amazon.com, I put in a search word for 120 volts, or in the case here, 220 volts, so many milliamps, and that will show me what the power, I will be able to pick a suitable substitute and get a replacement in a matter of 24, 48 hours. In the Philippines, I could probably do the same thing, but it may take more research. It might take a lot longer time, possibly trying to pull something out from China, like on Lazada.com or something like that. But it's going to be a challenge and an inconvenience. So my solution to that, to extend the life of the DC power supply, is to make it switchable. So only turn it on when I need to. So what we are going to do, let's see if I can get over here. We're going to put that recessed outlet right here for this power supply. We're going to cut into our wall right here. It's okay right now because we are in construction mode. We can do these things. We will do an extension here, and we are going to put a switched outlet box right here, on, off. And when I need to open these windows with my remote control, it's a matter of coming over here, turning the switch on, applying power to that DC power supply, opening the windows up, and when I get done and don't need it anymore, turn the switch off. It's going to be conveniently hidden behind the television, so you won't see it. I've already measured off the approximate size of the televisions that are going to fit inside there, and we'll have an access point. It will be very easy to do like that. Again, that is what I believe is the best option to provide extension of the life of the DC power supply and a minor inconvenience on my part. Remember all that tape that was stuck on there that they were protecting the windows with the plastic? Well, they're working on getting all the gooiness from the residual glue from the back of the tape off of the window frames right now. And I believe they are using, I think they're using paint thinner, and it doesn't seem like the paint thinner is affecting any of the UPVC coating on there. So, and that's what they've done all the way through, and the rest of the windows are looking really good. So I think that's the key to getting glue off of, or the adhesive glue on the back off of tape off of your window frames. So you're probably saying, oh, that's really dark. That's a lot darker than you thought. Well, that's not what it's going to look like once it dries. When it dries, it looks like this color right here. And that's the exact color. That's the color between the light gray and the dark graphite gray. And that's what we're trying to achieve. You know, I usually do a wrap-up of everything that was done during the day, and I take you through. But today, I think what we're going to do, we are just going to paraphrase what was completed today. Because a lot of the stuff you saw all day long, and we don't really need to have to really rehash that again. Plus, it's Saturday. I want to relax. I'm going to try to get this out to you early today. In the kitchen, remember, we finished the complete install of the kitchen hood ventilation system. And we put the sealant back into place. We tested everything, the lights and the vent itself with the blower. Everything worked on that. We installed this is a big day for the electrician again. This whole week's been a big week for us when it comes to electrical installed with the generator and the lights and things like that. Remember, we installed those 4 pin lights inside the kitchen as well, those 3.5 watt, and those were the cool light, 6500K lights inside there. Very happy with that as well. on the back side of the house, like I said, since I'm standing here, I can show you. I told you I wasn't going to go to each place, but the soffit material, soffit vent is done right there. Soffit panels are in place, and the entire back side is complete. And that soffit vent is done there. So realistically, Monday the soffit should be complete, which is the rest of the panels right there, and putting in the 2 vents and the panels on this side as well. I see right now, and this is what kind of scares me, I'm looking at the fascia, and the fascia, I see screws going to the side. I think maybe my soffit guy was screwing in the something that had to do with the soffit. Last time I saw that was on that side of the house, and that is when they stripped everything and started from scratch. I don't know what's going to happen. Who knows? That might happen again there. I don't know. That's building. Let's see what else got done. Doors. Remember the 2 doors for the basement? You saw them doing the finishing with the stain and everything like that down inside the basement. Down in the basement also some doors for some cabinets. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's the doors for the cabinets in the hallway where the master control center is, or if those had something to do with the doors inside the laundry. I do not know, but those were getting done today. You saw our tile person working on the steps going up from the basement up to the first floor. The glass mosaic inside there, and general cleanup, and actually did grout today, and he used that grout with the combination of the P13 and the P14, the 2 colors of gray that I asked them to mix, and they are absolutely perfect. And of course, all day long, like I said before, we have people doing finishing, doing final painting, and doing touch-up and things like that. I think I captured most of what was done today. I'm sure, again, like I do every day, there's other things that are going on in the background, and I did not capture it. We did not have precast people here today, so nobody was working on the fence at all. I don't know when they're coming back. They might be coming back after they do the precast for the top that's going to run. It's like the railing that's going to run along the top. I saw them doing the measurements either yesterday or the day before, so that might be what they're doing inside their warehouse in their manufacturing area. Okay, so again, this is the end of the week. Monday's going to be a new day. Tomorrow is Sunday, and Sunday is for us, it's going to be a day of running into Alabang. We have to talk to the Korean blind person. I think we're going to bring back one of the reps with us in our vehicle to do some measurements to make a determination, their recommendations, whether we want to do on this back side over here, whether we want to do 1, 2, or 3 panels that go inside of here. They were saying something about maybe 1 on the inside is too long, and I'm not sure what too long means. It'll be too heavy, it'll be too difficult, it'll be too difficult to manufacture. They didn't really elaborate on that. Then they said, well, why don't we make 2 panels? But if you do 2 panels, I don't want a panel breaking in the center. But if we do 3 panels, 1, 2, and 3, and where they separate from each other, it's behind the PVC mounting inside it. You won't even see those. I think that's probably going to be our option that we're probably going to select. But we'll see, again, tomorrow. And there's some other things we have to shop for. There's other building supplies that we need to get, some stuff that I talked with my electrician. So that's what tomorrow's going to be. I will probably take the GoPro with me, and we will possibly make it into a road trip video. We'll see. It depends on if you're interested or not. And then Monday, we resume all this back again. I will give you an update. The update is we made an agreement, a contract with that landscape family the other day. You know, the mom and pop company. And we have accepted their bid or their proposal and bid to start working on the yard. So what we're going to do, the main part is going to be broken down in 3 phases. The first phase is going to be leveling. They're going to take all the soil and they're going to do proper grading everywhere here. Second one is they are going to put down some topsoil, and then the third phase they are going to put down grass. And you're probably wondering what grass I selected. Well, I think you can wait until they start placing the grass down, and then you'll see then. I'll give you something to be thinking about and be excited about when you see which type of grass that we selected. Well, before I close for today, Hapon and I want to thank each and every one of the subscribers and the viewers who watch those silly ads sometimes at the very beginning of our episode, because by you watching those ads and not skipping, hitting the skip ad inside there, what we're able to do is generate some revenue, and what we end up doing is most of that revenue is regenerated back into the community in the form of contributions, things like the Santa giveaway that we did at Christmas time, and many of the things that we do to help families in need here in the community as well. You see some of the stuff what we do, and you don't see some of the stuff. Some of it is out of our pocket, some is from what you all contribute basically by watching those ads. So anyway, the community and us, thank you, and between all of us, we are making life better for a lot of people. So I'm going to close for today. Again, tomorrow is Sunday, maybe a video tomorrow. Monday, back to build day. So anyway, from here at Villa Feliz, if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up, please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You will be subscribed, and you will be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until tomorrow or Monday, you have a wonderful and blessed weekend.